All right, so I wanted to do this Marvel Preview Presents Punisher book. I think it's 2 issues, maybe 3. But the reason why I wanted to do it is because it has this black and white um, ink feel to it. And I enjoy comic books that look like this as opposed to comic books that look like this. Even though that does actually look pretty great with the vibrant colors. It's in this Punisher omnibus, but I wanted to just take a look at this real quick and go through this artwork. I love how they show you it as it came out with all the contents and everything. Just want to take a look at these black and white ink. This is an interesting choice to do it this way. I don't know why they did it this way, because Marvel at this time is very known for being very colorful. But I guess they decided, hey, we're gonna do this in black and white. I don't know if it was for story reasons, or if it was for production price. Maybe they didn't believe in the Punisher character. But I mean, this art, man, what an amazing comic. I mean, look at that. Eventually, I'm gonna go over the Punisher issues because they have the first few issues in here. I mean, look at that. I think any artist that can draw an amazing explosion, or any underwater scene is a real pro. I love these faces. And the ink work is unbelievable. I mean, if I had opened this, back then and saw this, I would have been blown away. I mean, these comics, the comics from this era, I mean, they say that, the 40s or whatever were the golden age. I think that these are the golden age of comics when it comes to how they were made. I mean, they look unbelievable. And the Punisher is such a great character. I love that jumping and flipping and look at that. Man, it's so difficult to draw so much action, but it's done so well. I wonder if this was inspired by the manga stuff that was coming out at the time. You know, I imagine it probably was for production reasons, but I don't know. Maybe they felt, we're gonna do the Punisher in black and white. It's very possible. I don't know the whole story, but man, look at that anatomy of that arm. It kind of sometimes looks like pencil drawings. It might be pencil drawings at times, but man, and I love the reproduction. I mean, it looks great. I wonder what this would have looked like because this had to probably have been on newsprint. Would it have looked muddy in newsprint? It's possible. Well, just slaps her on the face. Very interesting. I don't think they knew what the hell they were doing with the Punisher at the time. Because I don't even know if they thought he was going to be a villain. But I mean, that's a pretty controversial panel right there. But he apologizes for it because that makes it better. It doesn't. But anyways, I love those lines. The hatching work in this is unbelievable. I think when anybody can sling ink like this, because it's really difficult to ink like this. I mean, when you get a pen in your hand, or you get a marker in your hand, usually don't use markers, but you can. Or you get a brush in your hand, it's pretty intimidating. And you don't get these lines, you know. There's probably some crow quill work on here. Definitely some brush or marker. These gray tones. Probably a wet brush, maybe. I'm not sure though. I mean, look at that. I mean, look at how. I mean, this comic looks amazing. They should have kept the Punisher like this, in black and white. I think it would have been more interesting, more outlaw feeling. Because I mean, that's what the Punisher was. I think the Punisher was. It's a very outlaw character. You know, and black and white definitely works for outlaw characters. Man, it's a great face. That kind of reminds me of Ditko. I don't know why, it just does. That kick. The force coming from that kick. I mean, this was back in the day of the white boots Punisher, you know? And I feel like when you draw the Punisher, you have to know how to draw guns, you know? I mean, this comic looks great. I guarantee you it didn't sell well. But maybe it did. Maybe it did. I think they were trying to figure out what they were doing with the Punisher at this point. And these covers. Unbelievable. Absolutely amazing covers. I think we only have one more issue. There's definitely a lot of ink wash going on there to get those grays. Maybe they were using gray markers, but that was great. That drapery looks amazing. Those wrinkles. And I mean, you open up the page and you see that, you go, "What? What is this about?" What a great character the Punisher is. I don't think the Punisher really gets enough credit for being as great of a character as he is. I know he's just a simple. I mean, look at that. Man, that glass shattering. You know, I think he gets a bad rap because he's such a simple character, but I think he works. I mean, I think it's, you know, I mean, I think the Punisher might be my favorite comic book character of all time. And, I don't know. I don't think he gets the appreciation that he deserves, but I mean, he is in the Marvel universe, so there's so much. You got the X-Men, you got Fantastic Four, and then you just got this guy. You know, you got Iron Man. You got this guy just walking around with a rifle, with a gun. Not too interesting when you're talking about cosmic stuff, but you know, him and Daredevil are my two favorite characters in comics. And my only issue with the Punisher is you know when they go back to the war stories and stuff like that. It's there's nothing wrong with it. It's just always kind of falls flat when they go back and tell the war story, and then I want to see what the Punisher's doing now. I don't care much about his past. I care about what he's doing now. Because his story's simple. You know, his family gets killed, and now he wants to kill criminals. This is a great panel right here. You know, if you're going to draw a bunch of people sitting around, that's a great one. Underwater. That's your underwater scene. The bubbles, underwater. If you're drawing underwater, you're a pro. Wow, look at that. That reminds me of like a Wolverine pose. Guarantee you he referenced Wolverine. The movement of those legs. Man, what a great comic. Oh man, that right there, that right there is a very Punisher thing to do. Break open you know a glass and then shark comes out. And so well explained. Storytelling is absolutely amazing. I mean, he doesn't break it open. I guess the guy shoots and then the shark comes out and kills him. That's such a Punisher thing. I love that too. Absolutely amazing. What a great comic. I mean, and this was something that seemed like it was not something your typical Marvel fan would read. I mean, that's pretty ballsy for that time. I just want to take a look at what the Punisher became, you know, in comics. This is Spider-Man stuff. Let's just kind of go. This is Daredevil. Actually have this issue. Let's take a look at what the Punisher became. Just trying to see. The end has to be the Punisher. So I mean, here's your Punisher book. Now he's just laying out. It's very colorful now. The art is okay. I don't remember who the artists on these are. Um, but I mean, it's just very colorful. It's okay. I mean, it's your typical Marvel comic from that time period. I love these covers, though. We'll just take a look at these. That's Mike Zeck, I guess. Man, look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. Man, look at that. Just kind of going through this. I love when they add these pencils. I wish they were bigger. I wish they were larger. But I mean, those are tight pencils by Mike Zeck. Very, very tight pencils. I might go through. I might go through the Punisher's original stuff. I plan to at some point. Man, this is really awesome. You get every page. I didn't even see this before. I'll have to go through this later. But yeah, man, this is amazing. But I mean, you know, that's kind of what Punisher became. You know, that very colorful feel. I kind of wish that the Punisher had sort of stayed like that, you know, in black and white. Very interesting book. Um, I love the Punisher, so I definitely bought into this. I wish they would do another Punisher omnibus. I don't think they haven't. I mean, they have like the Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon stuff, which is all right. But you know, I want to see this stuff. I want to see, obviously, not a big hair in there. You know, I want to see. I want to see more Punisher stuff. I mean, I love the Punisher. So, but then again, I mean, what stories are there really other than the, you know, the Steve Dillon and Garth Ennis stuff? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely amazing. I love looking at this stuff. Huge fan of the Punisher. Probably my favorite characters between him and Daredevil. Eventually, I'm gonna go through Miller's Daredevil run as well. A couple issues. I don't have every single issue, so yeah. So that's the Punisher. Eventually, I'm gonna go through the original. Is it 4 issues, 5 issues of the Punisher's run? So, all right.